Well, welcome back to another PSYOP, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right to it. You don't have to like the video, you don't have to subscribe. Just clench your butt cheeks and hope for the best here, gang, because we got an update on the 3i Atlas, new images, new UFO videos as well. I got new news reports going around that I want to also share with you, and we got a bunch out of our hands. Shout out to Tyler from Security Team. First of all, check this out, roll it.
So, we have a lot to cover in today's video, from some crazy UFO footage that has been captured and sent my way to other things happening out in space. The first of which I want to start out with is just a quick update on the enigmatic object currently blasting through our solar system known as 3i Atlas, which I'm sure many of you, most of you have heard of by now, but if you haven't, it is only the third confirmed interstellar object that we've ever detected.
That gotta be some bull squash, man. Come on, man. You're saying that for how many billions of years the universe has been around? That's what they have said, right? And we only saw, I guess, yeah, that's what they're claiming. We only have seen 3 so far. And yeah, NASA shuts down. Never forget, NASA shut down, okay? When things got out of hands, or when in the heat of the moment, NASA shut down.
Entering our solar system from outside of our little bubble here after Oumuamua, Comet Borisov being the first two. Then we had this newest one suddenly detected blasting into our solar system. And if you thought Oumuamua was bizarre, the way that this one has been acting is straight up bonkers, which has led many to believe that it is an alien craft and not a comet. And so yeah, as of this week, 3i Atlas officially passed planet Mars, and the reaction online has been wild. We have been hearing about it since July the 1st. 3i Atlas first spotted by an asteroid alert telescope in Chile, 675 million kilometers away from the sun. That's insane. How do we know that? That's crazy. October 3rd, then 30th, then 2nd. Okay, wait, what? Okay, so October 30th, 3i Atlas makes its closest approach to the sun. 2nd of November, Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer starts observing 3i Atlas near the peak of its activity. And on the 25th of November, JUICE observes 3i Atlas from a cooler location where it will be safe for the spacecraft to watch it for a longer duration. I mean, yeah, that's cool and all, but can a brother perhaps get to see like videos of it too, like the real one in space? Planet Mars, and the reaction online has been wild. People are frustrated, suspicious, and honestly kind of freaked out, because right as it got close enough by planet Mars for some of the best possible images to be snapped of this thing, whether it be the Mars rover on the ground, orbiters above planet Mars, they all pointed their cameras toward this thing, and right as we were supposed to get images, NASA went completely silent. And in fact, pretty much—
We demand answers! We demand answers! Why are we paying taxes? Cut the taxes, or let us see that bull squash, okay? Cut the bullshit, man. Cut the bullshit, okay? Cut the bull squash, man. This is absolutely insanity. Timing, right? Yeah, they're saying that they had to shut down because government shut down, right? That is very awfully specific timing. What are the odds? Now, listen, yeah, surely 3i Atlas can be just a normal asteroid that is blasting through space, as Tyler just said. Pause real quick on blasting. Allegedly, it is pretty bonkers, surely. Yeah, it could be just an asteroid, right, that is blasting. Or perhaps it really is an alien mother-in-law ship. Yeah, that's the one that we're hoping for, or maybe not hoping for, depending on how friendly or unfriendly they are. But yeah, as things started to get interesting, they shut down the live feed.
Shut down.
Fantastic.
As some of you have heard. No updates, no press briefings, no nothing. We do have some new data which puts it at over 33 billion tons, which is much bigger than Manhattan. And get this, it's denser than any comet that we've ever studied. Then came what scientists are calling the, quote, fire hose effect. NASA's Swift Observatory picked up an
Shut it down, man. Shut it down. If we cannot see it, why are... yeah, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? Right, why are we... Yeah, why? Like, why are we paying taxes? Why are we paying taxes? Yo, where is... why are we paying taxes? Somebody tell us, man. Damn, bro.
insane amount of
Shut it
water
down!
blasting out of this space object,
Blasting.
like it was venting energy. They literally described it as, quote, a fire hose running at full blast. So whatever's inside this thing isn't just melting from sunlight. It's acting like it's being powered from within. And it's not behaving like a normal comet. You know, it didn't from the jump, and it's still not. So, you know,
I recently rewatched Battle Los Angeles movie. I believe that's the exact title, not necessarily Battle of Los Angeles. It's Battle Los Angeles. Definitely recommend that movie. And yeah, the plot was basically, yeah, we were tracking a comet. Then it turns out it's not behaving like one. Crash lands, or not necessarily crash lands, but lands on the planet. And guess what? It is the Mouse, the aliens, right, that are here to destroy the planet, that are here to harvest our resources. Yeah, that honestly was a really good movie though, right? And what we're hearing is that this one is not necessarily behaving like a comet. Now, again, this is hearsay, okay? It might very well be just another comet that is just a little bizarre, a little unique, right? That we're not super familiar with, or we don't see every day. Yeah, could be that. Yeah, absolutely could be just a normal comet, and perhaps it's not of an alien origin, and it very well can be of an alien origin too. Perhaps it really is a UFO mothership, right? Perhaps it really is, and there have been reports going around, or more like rumors, that are saying that it was the 3i Atlas that released those little cheeky ass drones that we saw in New Jersey. So there's that going around too. I mean, it's fascinating, and it really is interesting to talk about it. But again, guys, like, listen, I'm a believer in aliens. I'm a believer in UFOs. Surely we cannot be alone, mathematically speaking, as well. And a lot of, not every, but some religions also do speak of that us humans aren't the only God's creation. Yes, us humans are God creation, obviously, but God has created other creatures too, right? So religiously, yep, not every religion, but a lot of the religions do talk about more creations, or that God has created more stuff, or not stuff, but like, you know, us, basically intelligent life, let's just say. Let me put it that way. So there is that. And mathematically speaking, if what they tell us, okay, I'm putting a big if, okay, if what they're telling us that there are billions of planets, billions of galaxies, and within each galaxy there are billions of planets, if that is true, mathematically speaking, the chances of us being alone is impossible. Even on this planet that we call Earth, it's not just us. We also have so many different kinds of lives. Just look around it, and everything is alive. Pause, but not everything, but you know, everything.
You know, then the ESA, or the European Space Agency's Trace Gas Orbiter, managed to catch a glimpse of the object near planet Mars, just a glowing orb with a faint tail, and then almost immediately after, those images disappeared. And right on cue, NASA froze all public updates, citing the recent government shutdown, budget cuts and things of that nature, which many believe is a total cover-up by NASA.
Yeah,
as of right now, there's not too many updates. People have been posting their own images to Twitter, their analysis of the images. We do have backyard astronomers.
Okay, so this is captured by Mars rover camera.
Have been trying to capture this thing. Some have captured images of what look like a cigar-shaped object. Others have said that is, you know, just an effect of the camera and the object moving as the exposures are being taken. Thus, instead of giving a picture of a single, you know, glowing orb, it gets stretched out to look like a cigar. But, you know, others aren't convinced.
Yeah, you cannot, like, necessarily believe that because it's so far away. And shout out to the amateur astronomers, the astronomers. Shout out to everybody that's, like, trying to bring their truth out. Absolutely. But the thing is, let's be objective here. Capturing something that is that far away from a telescope, even a high lens or high telescope or a high-end telescope from planet Earth. Yeah, right. It's millions of kilometers away, or how... yeah, like millions of kilometers away, right? So whatever you're gonna capture, it might just be a little flu, right? A little fluish, or we're not gonna get all the details off it. It's probably is a little crooked and not necessarily like exactly like a cigar shaped object, or perhaps it is, right? You never know. But yeah, all in all, to say capturing something from planet Earth, yeah, right, we're not gonna get the exact details. We had NASA there. They deployed their telescope there, right? They already recorded, they already captured. Let's not bullshit ourselves, but they don't want to release it to the public. Why? Because the government shut down. Yeah, that's bull squash, man.
And while we don't have many updates this week, besides the fact that it's spewing water like a fire hose, the fact that, it recently changed color to this beautiful green hue. This object, it has a very unique chemistry. It's unusually rich in carbon dioxide and nickel, a chemical signature not commonly found in interstellar visitors. Then we have the unusual brightening of the object in mid-September, where data from the Comet observation database indicated that 3i Atlas was brightening faster than expected. A lot of weird stuff going on with this, and I promise you guys, if I see anything worth your time, I will definitely...
And right here, it says that it looks like a triangle-shaped craft. That this is the 3i Atlas looking like a triangle-shaped craft. Shout out to everybody that's trying to bring the truth out. But again, the point is recording, capturing something like this that is millions of kilometers away from Earth, and capturing something like this from Earth. Guys, you're not gonna get the exact details. It's better than nothing, respect, but suffice to say, like, we're not gonna get the exact details. NASA, on the other hand, they probably got the high quality images, like 20, 100,000 billion pixels, gigabyte storage. They probably got so many gigabytes of video recording images already off that thing, but they're not gonna release it, right? That is a little suspect. Real quick though, before we get down to the next thing, shout out to Annie for the 2, shout out to Mr. 1981 for the 5, and also on the second channel, shout out to Neva, Jean-François, Sassy Medellin. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel with the tips and the super thanks and all that. Really appreciate it. Helps out the channel tremendously. Alright, let's get back to the content here, boo-boo.
Definitely post updates here, so even when the mainstream news is saying that something about this feels different, it definitely makes...
This was yet another image that we saw, and it's claimed to be of the 3i Atlas. Oh shit! If real, insane, right?
So you get that feeling in your stomach, like something's off, so we will stay on it. Alright, so now I want to jump into some UFO footage. I haven't featured a whole ton of UFO clips lately, and that is what I want to do with the rest of today's video. So, to begin, I got this first piece of footage that we're going to look at from an amateur astronomer who has been tracking the planets around the solar system for years. And he told me that he recorded this clip of planet Saturn about a year or so ago, I believe it was, and that while he didn't really see anything at the time, he recently rewatched the footage that he had captured of the, this beautiful ringed planet, and he noticed something very strange when he did that truly made him kind of go cold. And so in the footage, as you are seeing, Saturn is centered in the frame, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here at certain points to give you a better look. But Saturn's in the center of the frame. There's definitely some atmospheric wobbling and with the distance and all, but it's a pretty clear and steady image of Saturn. And then out of...
Damn, to be able to capture something like that from Earth, you can see the quality is kind of blurry, obviously, right? Obviously, but to be able to capture something like that, insane. This gotta be massive. How big is Saturn, and how many kilometers away is it? Let me see.
Out of nowhere, we see this UFO, this, what looks to me like a small, bright object in comparison to Saturn, that is, that slides.
Okay, yeah, I did Google this, but how far away is it? How far away Saturn is from Earth? Let's check this out. 1.29 billion kilometers away. Oh, shit. What the hell? Now, I obviously Googled this before. Now, it is apparently 760 times greater in volume, and with a mass that is about 95 times that of Earth. So it is, needless to say, let's just say it's like almost 100 times bigger than Earth. Give or take, right? Apparently, it is 9 times wider than Earth, so it's not that wide, but You know, pretty wide, pause. But 95 times the mass, or the mass is about 95 times of Earth. That is insane, and 1.29 billion kilometers away. So this gotta be something massive. Now, you probably got a better perspective at it, right? While we're looking at it.
Fades suddenly into view from the darkness on the right side of the planet, and it just moves steady and fast and smooth as it flies over the rings and looks to actually pass behind Saturn's upper curve, where it then reappears briefly before fading into the darkness, all in about 2 seconds. So here is that clip with the slowed down versions of it already edited into the clip by the original uploader.
Got it. Shout out to the legend. Oof. Felt like that it also went slightly zigzaggy. Yeah, it feels like when it gets around here, it just moves slightly. So this is half of the speed. This gotta be something massive. There's absolutely no way. And it goes... Oh man. And it's going insanely fast. That's any of you think that it's let's just say what's this called, an insect that was perhaps on the telescope lens or in between? I don't think so, because if there was an insect on the telescope is zoomed in to the max, right? So you wouldn't even see anything. Or if the insect completely, for example, I can just show you. So I'll take my finger and point it there. You see what it's doing, right? Like, yeah, it would have either done something like that, or it would be completely like that if the insect was that big to cover the entire lens. So yeah, that's the example. That's the best example I can give you, because that's how it is. Because it's zoomed into the max. Yeah, 1.29 billions away, guys. Holy crap. That's what they say. Okay, that's what they say. And the way it's moving, it's insanely quick. So this is 1/8 of the speed. So
yeah, look how quick, look how fast this thing blasts in from the darkness. Goes over Saturn's...
His favorite word, Tyler's favorite word is blasting.
Rings, passes behind Saturn, looks to pass behind it to me, vanishes before it even reaches the edge of the other side of Saturn's rings. And, you know, I ran this footage through multiple passes of an AI video enhancement software that I use called Topaz Video AI to try to clean it up. And it's clear to me that this thing goes behind the planet, not in front of it. And if you watch it, and as I loop this, you can even see what appears to be an obvious faint shadow stretching across the rings that are wrapping around the backside of Saturn as this object moves by exactly where you would expect a shadow to be given the sun's angle. So, you know, as this thing is moving across the rings, notice this dark area which appears...
Whoa. Okay, one sec. Let's actually... It's hard to say though, but okay.
Exactly where you would expect a shadow to be given the sun's angle. So, you know, as this thing is moving across the rings, notice this dark area which appears to be shining against Saturn's, you know, most outer rings as they start to fade out into the darkness. I mean, see for
it's very hard to say. I barely noticed anything. Any of you have?
Yourself, this looks like a clear shadow. I mean, you can see it. So yeah, I think now...
okay, I did see a little bit of that, but that was more like a distortion. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's very hard to say because it's been captured so far. It's so far away, so...
After reviewing this so many times, I don't think that this object is dust or camera noise. I don't think it's a pixel glitch. I've seen a ton of telescopic footage, and the depth and the motion and the shadows,
Needless to say, it seems like an absolutely insane, fascinating footage for sure, but I don't see the shadow though.
All lines up. And what I'm kind of still trying to figure out is how the object, it only becomes visible when it's over Saturn or its rings. You know, we don't see it streaking across the darkness of space.
Good point.
We only see it as it appears, you know, above the rings, and it seems to me like it's just being lit up. by the planet's reflection of light. And then the second that it clears that area, it's gone again. You know, it has no other light reflecting off of it, or at least not enough sunlight that it would be picked up by the video attached to the telescope. And furthermore, when the object comes out on the left side of Saturn from the viewer perspective, the more I loop it over, the more that the object to me, because of the way it fades away, almost seems to turn to where it would be suddenly blasting away and behind Saturn. That then is
blasting. No, absolutely. That's what I noticed too. Like a zigzag shaped UFO. So it's like it's coming right here, and it goes upward from there. Like it just turns around, right?
Blasting away from the camera. So, you know, and it wouldn't be the first time that we have seen and captured strange objects and craft-like things out near Saturn and Jupiter and other planets or moons. Tell me your thoughts on this down below. Really cool footage. And big thanks to the viewer who sent this in.
Yep. Done.
Lastly today, certainly not to be the least, because this is some pretty amazing footage here, we have a clip posted to Reddit that appears to show a very clear video of a fresh metallic orb sighting that occurred over Brisbane, Australia. The clip shows a metallic-looking sphere cruising low over North Ipswich, and I'm probably destroying that, which is a part of Greater Brisbane, Australia. And they claim that it flew lower than balloons ever do, made no sound, and looked distinctly reflective, as you guys are about to see. So check this out.
Yeah, Mom! Get the camera! Get the damn camera, Mom!
No, I found it! He looked up and he saw something.
Mom, get the camera!
What is that, for God's sake? Frick!
Caught this today, cruising over north.
What is that? Maybe it's a flying saucer.
Where is it? Hang on. I'm trying to see it.
Flying saucer! Yeah, got him! Got that cheeky bastard right there! Oi! Oi, can't park there, mate! Oh, my bad, the video is paused. Okay, my bad.
Bruh.
Yeah, but still, remember, cannot park there, mate. Yeah, it looks like that one of those, like, Booga sphere. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so many ball-shaped UFOs, actually. Balls, pause. Yeah, this is News Nation, and we got Avi Loeb talking about it. Now, some are saying that this is older, but News Nation uploaded this today. I guess it's a re-upload. Maybe it's older. Let's find out. But it's I've catched like 30 seconds off it, and it was actually interesting. So I was like, let's actually put it in the video.
Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has suggested the 3-eye atlas is actually some type of alien technology sent here from another solar system. And he's come on the show before to lay out the scientific reasoning behind that startling hypothesis. Well, this weekend he made headlines again when he said that the object could actually be on a mission to release, quote, mini probes that could invade Earth. Avi Loeb joins us now. He's head of the Galileo Project, director of Harvard University's Institute for Theory and Computation, also the best-selling author of the book Extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bite. What are these mini probes you're talking about, and how would this even be possible?
Yeah.
Well, there are two possibilities. If it's a technological object, then it might maneuver itself. We haven't seen such a maneuver so far. But the other possibility is that it may release some other objects that reach the planets, and it will continue along its course to the next star.
Yeah, that's the rumor, right? That's the word around the word on the street that, yeah, the 3-eye atlas released those little cheeky ass UFO drones that we saw in New Jersey, that we saw around like Germany, I believe, right? Recently as well, again, right? Or basically the UFOs and the drones that we're seeing a lot right now are basically sent in by the 3-eye atlas because they're on a reconnaissance mission, I guess. That is supposedly the theory. I mean, it sounds fascinating if that is true, right? That is insane. We're surely living in strange times.
We just need to keep our eyes on the ball, the way that basketball coaches often say to the team members.
The ball.
Because we don't know, but it may well be just a rock which has some ice on the surface that evaporates, in which case we will say it's natural. You know, I defined a new scale last month that is now called the Loeb scale, where 0 is a natural object and 10 is a technological object. And at this point, I give it around a 4. But if it looks like a comet as it comes closer to the sun, I'll reduce the rank closer to 0.
Well, 4 is not 10, so it's actually, you think there's more of a shot that it really is actually just a comet?
Yeah, the reason was that the inferred size of the object was huge. It was between 20 and 46 kilometers, unless there is a dense cloud of dust around it that is scattering sunlight. This is an object...
Yeah, this is an older video, so this is where we were figuring out, right? Yeah, so it's an older one. Let's actually get down to what just happened. So check this out, roll it.
On the 13th of October, 2025, something remarkable may have occurred. Something that challenges both scientific understanding and spiritual history.
So this
The interstellar object known as 3I Atlas, which at that time was hidden behind the sun and out of direct view from Earth, was reportedly observed sending a series of light pulses arranged in the unmistakable pattern of the Fibonacci sequence. 5...
Oh, shit. For the past 3 weeks, we've been observing 3I Atlas, an interstellar object currently passing through the outer solar system using 2 synchronized observation setups, a 16-inch optical telescope in India and a dual spectrum telescope in Chile. We've detected something extraordinary, repeating flashes of light that cannot be explained by natural cometry activity. And the Fibonacci sequence, I gotta make a video on it one day, man. The Fibonacci sequence is important. It's fascinating. It is, yeah, people have used that to understand certain, basically to summarize it, like the Fibonacci sequence, the numbers of 8, 13, 8, 5, 13, 8, these numbers appear everywhere, you know, in the universe. And especially like there are plants. So if you see the leaves, you know, you see the branches of a tree, you see different kind of leaves and all that. The flowers, you would either find the flower has 5 or 8 or 13. So these numbers appear everywhere, right? So the Fibonacci sequence is very, very fascinating. I'm doing it injustice talking and saying this crap that I'm just saying. It's way more than that, essentially. If you know, you know. If you don't know, well, it might be whatever I'm saying might be sounding gibberish. So yeah, look into it. And hopefully eventually I make a video on it too.
8 and 13. This sequence, long recognized as the mathematical fingerprint of nature and creation, appears throughout the structure of galaxies, the spirals of seashells, the arrangement of leaves, and even in the DNA helix of living beings. Yet, for such a sequence to appear in pulsating light from an interstellar object on a specific date so deeply tied to one of history's most mysterious religious events raises questions that extend far beyond mathematics or astronomy.
Yep.
The date itself is extraordinary. The 13th of October marks the 108th anniversary of the Miracle of the Sun in Fatima, Portugal, an event in 1917 that was witnessed by tens of thousands of people who claimed to have seen the sun dance in the sky.
What?
Many described radiant colors, spinning motion, and light waves that bathed the earth below. For over a century, this miracle has been one of the most debated and sacred events in modern spiritual history. Now, in 2025, on that same date, a celestial visitor from beyond the solar system emits coded pulses of light, as if deliberately timed to echo the memory of that miracle. Observers who studied the phenomenon noted that the pulses did not occur randomly. The pattern followed a rhythm consistent with Fibonacci's numerical progression, representing a precise mathematical ratio, the golden ratio, long considered a universal constant in art, architecture, and the geometry of life itself. The ratio, 1.618, represents balance, harmony, and the blueprint of all natural formation. It is seen by many researchers as a bridge between mathematics and consciousness.
And the Fibonacci sequence has been also used to talk about the existence of God, essentially. For sure, there are a lot of people that believe in God. There are lots of people that don't believe in God. But Fibonacci sequence is something that is mathematical. It's very numbers, like, right? And and people have used that to prove God, essentially, because it's not coincidence. Yeah, it's numbers that are appearing everywhere in every aspect of life, and the Fibonacci sequence is essentially that. It's insane. I've seen like videos on it, man, and yeah, man. Once you see it, you can. There's no going back. Once you see it, you will be fascinated by it. It's crazy, man.
To witness these same proportions in the emissions of a distant interstellar object suggests, at least to some, an intelligence or higher order at play. Shortly after the pulses were detected, NASA reportedly shut down the Solar Dynamics Observatory's live feed, citing maintenance.
Now, Fibonacci sequence is one thing, but to say that 3i Atlas is, pulsing these numbers, the Fibonacci sequence, that is another thing, right? Yeah, I'm gonna take it, and I definitely recommend you take this as rumors as well, because how do we know it's real, right? It's just somebody on the internet that's talking about it. No disrespect, though, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that we definitely need evidence. We cannot rely on NASA. They're unreliable. Yeah, they're shutting down the feed. Bro, just shut down NASA, man. And why do we need NASA if they're gonna do shit like that? When at an important event, at an important time, these motherfuckers shut down. Why do we need them? Yeah, shut down NASA at this point, bro. Like, what the hell, man?
While such actions might typically go unnoticed, the timing in this instance drew immediate suspicion. The high-resolution imaging science experiment imaging system aboard the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, the most advanced camera in Mars orbit, had also been down since the 1st of October.
There we go. When the world needed NASA most, they just disappeared. There's a saying, when the world needed him most, he returned. Nope, not the case in NASA, ladies and gentlemen.
October, allowing an extended period during which no high-resolution observations were made. The coincidence of both major observatories going offline,
they were made, but they chose to not show us,
while a potentially historic celestial event unfolded, only fueled speculation that information may be intentionally withheld.
Right.
Independent researcher David Sereda, known for his work connecting physics, resonance, and consciousness, analyzed the frequency pattern of the pulses and made an astonishing discovery. He claimed the light signals corresponded to planetary harmonics within what he termed a hyperdimensional solar system model. In this framework, each Fibonacci number resonates with a specific celestial domain. 5 corresponds with Earth, 8 with planet 591, also called dominions, and 13 with virtues, associated with the ancient star Methuselah. According to this interpretation, the Fibonacci pulse sequence was not random data, but rather a deliberate message encoded within the very structure of time and frequency. Sereda proposed that if this transmission was genuine, Atlas was sending a mathematical signal aligned with the vibrational architecture of creation itself, timed precisely with the centennial resonance of Fatima's solar miracle. In his analysis, the sequence 5, 8, and 13 formed not just a numerical code, but a frequency pattern representing harmony across dimensions. The implications were staggering. It suggested that the object was not merely a wandering fragment of interstellar debris, but potentially an intelligent construct or probe capable of broadcasting messages using the universal language of mathematics.
Either that, and if it is, then that confirms intelligent life that is doing that, or it's like one of those things that, because, yeah, even on Earth, the Fibonacci sequence is everywhere, right? The numbers appear everywhere. Or the things with the numbers appear everywhere, right? Perhaps it's one of those, and it's, again, part of the Fibonacci sequence, and it's natural, it's normal. Yeah, man, we're probably gonna get more updates on it, and I'll keep you guys in the loops. Did you see this video? Yeah, this is about Project Bluebeam. We did a full deep dive on Project Bluebeam. Check out this video on the screen, and I'll see you right there.